6、5、4。首先有请来自中国 From China 袁立成、徐英丽。现在有请来自中国 From China 林诗栋、王楚钦。
Well, just listen to the rapturous applause that greets this pair. This is Wang Chuqin, the men's world #1 in singles, leading in his teammate Lin Shidong, who is the world #2. This pair swapping places at the top of the standings in the singles, and now they combine in the doubles, taking on their compatriots Licen and Yingbin for a place in the final 8 here. Well, the expectation is high on Lin Shidong and Wang Chuqin, who are the second seeds here across this best of 5. Will we see an upset? Well, we've already had some upsets, most notably in the men's singles, but will there be one in the men's doubles? That's how they line up. Lin Shidong, the youngest player at the table, and was #1 just a few weeks ago. He's been usurped, though, by Wang Chuqin, who is a crowd favourite. We can expect a lot of noise in this match because he is a hugely, hugely popular figure here in China.
The umpire of this match is Mu Chunlei, 来自中国 from China.
Overseeing this one, she's been a familiar face in the umpire's chair throughout the last 4 days of competition. As she calls the players along for the coin toss before we get on with a quick warm-up and then get this match underway. Cannot wait for this one.
王楚钦、林诗栋。
Relatively new partnership, this Wang Chuqin and Lin Shidong pairing. We'll get into that in a little moment. Fraser Riley sitting alongside me, ready to lend his expert insight and analysis. Looking forward to getting your views, Fraser, once we've concluded this coin toss.
Red, green. Red for you, green for you. You win the toss. Receive. Which one will throw first? Xu. Who will receive first? Lin. Which side? This side.
Well, that is that. Licen and Yingbin. Fraser Riley, of course, these Chinese men know each other very well indeed. But what can we expect from the underdogs?
I think they're going to bring some fast and furious table tennis. Rebecca, great to be here at the second edition of the China Smash. It's an absolute privilege as always to be in the booth. What a treat it is to watch Wang Chuqin paired up with Lin Shidong. Don't see them play together too much. The last time was at the Singapore Smash this season. So, you know, they are the favourites coming into this. They dispatched the world champions from 2021 recently. But here is a look at Xu Yingbin and Yuan Licen's results.
And very good indeed in the round of 16 against Lin Ru and Gao Zhengrui with a straight games win there. They haven't dropped a game yet en route to this quarter-final, but this is going to be a very tough test, isn't it, against the #2 seeds here. To look at their results, then they are only in their second match, having received a bye in the first round. They were very impressive against the Swedish pair, Christian Karlsson and Matthias Falk yesterday. But let's just talk about this partnership, because like you said, this isn't a pairing that we see too often, is it?
No, we've seen Lin Shidong paired up with Lin Gao Yuan in the past, the two Lins linking up. And he's also played with Wang Yozheng, Lin Shidong. Now with the world #1, Wang Chuqin, who, in my opinion, is the best doubles player in the world. A 3-time world champion in mixed doubles with Sun Yingsha, a world champion with Ma Long back in 2019. Lin Shidong, of course, the counter-loop king, is the guy who will be further away from the table.
There's a look then at the schedule. This is day 5. It's been a very busy week indeed. We are into the last 16 in the singles, and of course we are watching doubles. We're into the quarterfinals for the men's and women's, and the mixed doubles semi-final taking place a little later on. That's taking place in the final match of this morning's session. So lots for us to look forward to indeed. Now, Fraser, we talked about the second seeds being a new pairing, but Also, when Licen and Yingbin are a new pairing as well. We see both of them playing with Zhang Peng. But why are they pairing up here today together?
It's a good question. I'm not too sure. Look at the fan vote, by the way. They're 95-5. That's
It's no surprise, is it?
crazy. No surprise, but I think it'll be more of a 50-50 than that. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, China have the luxury of having the best depth in the world within their national team, so why not experiment? Both of these two players relatively young. Let's see if they gel well together here. This is the ultimate catalyst against the ever dangerous threat of Wang Chuqin and Lin Shidong.
versus Wang Chuqin, Lin Shidong.
Looking forward to seeing
First
this one
game.
getting going.
Yingbin to serve, Lan Wang.
Yingbin will serve and get us underway here. They're both sets of plays, of course, a left-hand, right-hand combination, so they'll be very evenly matched in that regard. In terms of coverage of the table.
Yeah, that's right. They'll both have that advantage coming into this one. Won't have to make as much space for their partner. Won't have to think about that as much. It's a great start here. Nice swooping shot into the crossover section. And I see Yuan Licen at the table. I think he is so quick on his feet, so nimble. Quite slight in stature. He's a former Grand Finals winner in men's doubles.
He's a very handy doubles player, isn't he? He's got 5 WTT doubles titles. And at club level, he's won 2 Chinese Super Leagues. So he's very good in terms of being a doubles partner. And just offering up an apology there. They acknowledge the fortune that helped them along the way in terms of winning that point.
No flash, please.
It was an interesting day yesterday for Team China. Quite a few of them have already fallen in the singles. Wang Chuqin nearly joined the list against Milos Rodzinski.
That would have been the upset of upsets, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't have done the ticket sales any good at all here at the China Smash.
Well, no, for Rodzinski to come and take him to a 5th game in Wang Chuqin's backyard.
Yeah, incredible. Oh, that's such a scrumptious shot right there. Used the peripheral vision, didn't show where he was going with the foremotion. That's an awesome glancing forehand from Wang Chuqin off of the half long.
That's his bread and butter, isn't it?
Yeah, he's very good on both wings. His backhand is quite often underlooked because it's very rare to see Wang Chuqin play 2 consecutive backhands. He's a forehand orientated player. Lin Shidong, actually, for a Chinese player, is fairly backhand orientated. I mean, it could end up being the perfect partnership, Rebecca. And right here, basically a perfect start.
But is there a rivalry between them? You know, they're top 1 and 2 in the men's singles.
100% there's a rivalry. And that's something that the Team China coaches have to try and sort out. That might be a good thing. A reason why that they're paired together to try and eliminate any potential beef's the wrong word, it's too strong, but
Tension, perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit.
9-2.
We often see Team China players warming up against each other before they play each other. So it is seen as a team. The bigger picture always in mind.
3-9.
That was a confidence-boosting point, wasn't it, for the underdogs, with Wang and Lin on the verge of earning themselves 7 game points. They've been stopped in their tracks.
Took something very special there. Oh, that's a stunning forehand from Yuan Licen. I love the posture on that one there. Take a look again. Flick from Wang Chuqin. Great counter. Xu Yingbin leaned out the way for his partner. Yuan Licen actually went for broke because the left side of the table was exposed.
Well, they didn't take kindly to having those 2 points taken off them, did they, the second seeds? And Lin Shidong, with that shot there, earns them 6 game points.
Net 10-4.
The assistant there realised something that Mu Chunlei didn't. Seemed like a late call, but anyway, they wrap it up.
11-4.
Wang Chuqin with that trademark big forehand. Swipes at the ball and wraps up game number 1, 11 points to 4.
Too good all over every single ball. They'll attack the attackable. They'll handcuff them in the serve receive. It's going to be a very, very tough task ahead for Xu Yingbin and YUAN Licen.
Winning ball placement then from Lin Shidong and Wang Chuqin. Anything we can infer from this, Fraser?
Well, the backhand of YUAN Licen is stable, but not a big weapon. So I'm expecting to see most of the balls played into that right side that you're seeing there from these two gentlemen on screen.
Well, perhaps that's a conversation they've just been having, heading back out onto the table for game number 2 in this best of 5. Now, of course, they all know each other so well. They practice together, they train together, they
Who will serve
know
first?
each other's games inside out. But how do YUAN Licen and
Second game,
Yingbin try and impose
Shidong
themselves on
to
this? Because
serve,
they are
Lao.
both very classy players in their own right.
That's a good question, Rebecca. I think even if you play a fantastic match, you can still lose 3-0 to a pair like Lin Shidong and Wang Chuqin. That's the harsh reality that we've got on our hands here. A lot of people say, why do the Team China players seem so robotic? Why do all of them seem to play in a similar way? Well, it's because they are using the most tried and tested method of a modern attacker. They're using universally effective tactics at all times. They understand the possibilities and limitations better than anybody. So you won't see them overcomplicating anything. I think Xu Yingbin and YUAN Licen should look to take a leaf out of Wang Chuqin and Lin Shidong's book. They should try and serve fairly empty, without much spin, but it's difficult to contain Wang Chuqin on receive with how he can flick. Look at that.
But let's talk just for a moment about his scare yesterday in the men's singles. He did look vulnerable, didn't he? Especially against an
Please, no
unexposed
flash.
player in
Thank you.
Rajimski. It was very surprising that he was taken to a 5th game. There could have been a huge upset.
Yeah, I mean, Rajimski's been knocking on the door for quite a while, I'll be honest. But yeah, a big scare for Wang Chuqin. He wanted to try and shake off the cobwebs of last year here in Shogun Park, where he lost to Anders Lind of Denmark 3-1. Maybe that was playing on his mind a little bit, I'm not too sure, but yeah, Rajimski, a very good shot maker. Someone who can play well in the longer rallies. Managed to drag Wang Chuqin's level down a bit. Wouldn't have felt good for Wang Chuqin.
1-4.
Well, he'll probably feel like he has to prove something here in this men's doubles.
Shot block from Shidong. Oh, played to absolute perfection there, Rebecca. Top block is so difficult to execute. You have to know exactly how much topspin's on the ball. You've got to time it right at the peak of the bounce. Sometimes you'll see the very best do it a bit earlier. But you've got to come round the side of the ball, down from above. Trap the spin, turn the heavy topspin into backspin and side spin. Great one there from Shidong.
Brilliant ball placement right in that far corner.
4-3.
They just seem more capable at opening the table for themselves early. Nothing Xu Yingbin could have done there, even with a hand switch attempt.
Oh, well, that was uncharacteristic from
3-5.
Wang Chuqin.
Awkward ball to play, half long, barely attackable. That back edge there is a target and an obstacle. Got to be careful on there. Christian Carlsen, who's featuring later against Lin Shidong, has actually cut his hand open before on that edge.
3-6. 6.
You should put padding around there or something.
Oh, well, then it wouldn't bounce properly. Can't do anything about it. But it's incredible, the awareness of the top players.
Oh, the crowd gasping in delight. You look like you're about to gasp in delight as well.
You're right, Rebecca. I'm stunned. Incredible that Chuqin got back to ball. And look at the composure from Shidong.
4.
That shot selection. Little shoulder shrug from him.
Yeah, icy cool.
Yeah. But look,
7.
they've managed to make it tougher for Wang Chuqin and Lin Shidong to receive with the same quality. Oh, I like the idea there from YUAN Licen.
5, 7.
Trying to dink it short.
Couldn't quite execute. Can take another look.
He saw Shidong drift out, so he tried to drop it tight.
Smart idea.
Smart idea indeed.
This is good stuff though from Zhu and Yuan.
The difference that point makes. 2-point game where it could have been a 4-point game.
3-point game now.
5,
So they
8.
guarantee at least a 2-point cushion once more. Well played. These two don't have the singles to worry about anymore. Yingbin was beaten by Flavian Coton. YUAN Licen was beaten by Christian Carlsen.
It's a great rally.
8, 6.
Goes the way of Wang and Lin.
You wonder whether that's a factor, whether they don't have the singles to think about so they can spend more time preparing for the doubles.
Well, yeah, because we've got Wang Chuqin who's firing on all fronts, in the singles, in the mixed, in this one. Licen will be in action later in the mixed doubles semi-final. He'll be partnering up with Wang Yidi.
Looking forward to that match right there.
Please continue
The
playing.
last match of the session.
Another China-China clash.
Time out.
We've got the first time out then of the match, and it's been called on the side of Yingbin and YUAN Licen, and it's not surprising, is it, Fraser, because they could have been pretty much out of sight by now if they'd just taken their chances.
Yeah, they're breathing down their necks here. The second seeds. Let's listen in.
It'll be fascinating to see how game number 2 goes, whether YUAN Licen and Yingbin can really hold their nerves here, because this is a big test of their mental resilience at this stage. How effective will they be at having relinquished that 3-point lead? Coming up to some crucial points in game number 2, edging towards the end.
I think they're doing very well here. This is their first match, remember, at the China Smash. Incredible point here. Lin Shidong ends up on his bottom.
And to do it after the restart, after having called for the timeout, that's amazing work from the underdog partnership, celebrating with some vigour.
They were supposed to play the World Championship finalists, Lin Winru and Gao Chunwei, but because of Gao Chunwei's injury, he went through with a walkover. So to say that this is their first match, to say that Lin Shidong and Wang Chuqin have already had some table time against Falk and Carlsen, you know, goes to show they're doing well here, the underdogs. But this is a game that they really, really need to win.
Well, there's no coming back, was there, with that shot down the diagonal from Wang Chuqin. It's met with big cheers from the crowd.
That was imperious.
Just listen to them chanting his name. He's so popular. Why is he so popular?
I guess, you know, he's just a bit of an icon. He's a bit of a pop star in China, in a sense. A fashion icon in some ways as well. But, you know, he is the captain now of Team China, a young captain. A lot of pressure to bear on such young shoulders. It's the way he carries himself, it's his aura. And of course, Sun Yingshao's mixed doubles partner always helps as well, and they've played together for so long. The two peas in a pod, and the Chateau fans love that.
Let 9-10.
Big serve coming up here. Important one. Oh, Wang Chuqin deals with it with absolute class. Well, you did get the sense, didn't you, that was a must-win game for you, and Licen and Yingbin. But they fall 2 games behind now. Of course, the best of 5, they still do have chances, but that was an important one if they were going to get a game on the board.
Yeah, they'll be ruining missed opportunities. No doubt about that. Chuqin and Shidong going from strength to strength, doubling their game score here, and now they're just 1 away. Surely they'll get this job done.
Well, that's who we will be seeing in action very shortly indeed. That is Shidong, winner of the Champions event in Yokohama just a few weeks ago. She's taking on Licen of Chinese Taipei in the women's singles. These athletes will be fighting for a place in the last 8 here in Beijing.
Time.
Well, she could be out there, or they could be out there rather pretty quickly. If Lin Shidong and Wang Chuqin have anything to do with it, they won't take kindly, Fraser, will they, to having been behind in game number 2. Of course, they won game number 2, but it'll sting a little bit, won't it, that they had to come from behind to do so.
Who will serve
Yeah,
first?
prevention's better than cure. They wouldn't look to get in those kind of positions.
Yingbin to serve. Level.
They'll be happy that they managed to turn the table.
Let. Level.
It's just class, isn't it, from Wang Chuqin?
His coverage is immense. He blurs the lines because sometimes he doesn't even seem best placed. Even off balance, he can still plant the feet and regain composure to play hard shots, which is incredible. I love his iconic forehand, that straight arm. Everything is just so deliberate with Wang Chuqin, and he's just so unapologetic about it. That's what makes him a world champion.
It's that aura, like you said. But the men's draw is shaping up really nicely in the doubles. This pair, Wang Chuqin, Lin Shidong, second seeds, but at the top, Alexis and Felix Lebrun of France.
Oh, wow.
And they've got an interesting match as well against Sora Matsushima and Shunsuke Tagami of Japan. So that's going to be a brilliant quarterfinal.
You know, it's official. We are witnessing the new dawn of Chinese table tennis. This generational reset happening right now. You've got the Lebruns in there. Japan are going through a similar thing to China. It's just so interesting what is happening right now, especially in the men's game. And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens here in the men's doubles draw.
A bit of fortune there for Wang Chuqin. All just trickling over the top of the net.
I guess in a sense, with Fan Zhendong not really competing right now internationally, Lin Shidong is looking to fill his spots. Not too dissimilar in terms of size. Not quite as thick set, but so good, Lin Shidong. for me,
3
the best
all.
player off of the table in the world. That match point against Shinsuke Tagami was a joke. He can play, I'd say, in more areas off the table than Chuqin. Chuqin will, on average, I think, stay a little bit closer to the table. That's what they'll be looking to do anyway.
Of course, you know, speaking of far away from the table, that match point, the championship point at the Europe Smash, that was an iconic point, wasn't it? And we saw Lin Shidong so far back, he was almost in the stands.
Yeah, one of the best, I think probably the best match point I've ever seen, to be honest.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, wasn't it?
In terms of number of shots, I've seen better ways, better shots to finish a match, but never a better rally. In singles, I guess Shidong's going through a little bit of a title drought right now. No matter what happens, by the way, in the men's singles, he will remain as the world number 2. He can't go back to 1 again.
4-5.
Yeah, of course, this pair, haven't they, been swapping places at the top of the standings. And Shidong usurped Chuqin at the top, and now they've
4-5.
switched places again. It's great to have that kind of competition.
Yeah.
Net. 4-5.
A lot of what we saw last season was to do with the Paris Olympics in summer, breaking up the season, and the pressure that brought about.
That was a great rally for Licen and Yingbin to win, wasn't it? Because Chuqin unleashed that big forehand. We had Lin Shidong getting involved as well, and what a brilliant point to win for the underdogs here, to level at 5-all.
Crafty bit of a placement and speed change from Chuqin with the block, but Yingbin sweeping in, taking the ball from beneath the table and looping it wonderfully.
Chuqin bests them this time. Forehand is such a powerful weapon. You can see how straight his arm is.
Yeah.
It's really quite unique, isn't it?
It's more typical of a Chinese player than a European, but even for a Chinese player, it is so straight.
Well, they stretch away now the second seeds into a 2-point lead, and is this the moment that they begin to pull away, do you sense, now that they've established, yeah, that sort of mini break, I guess?
I reckon they're going to pull away here. Wouldn't be surprised. Depends on the focus of Chuqin and Lin Shidong. Oh yes, Yingbin with an absolute corker.
6-7.
If this is a straight games loss for YUAN, is this an encouraging one, nonetheless? Will they be encouraged by how they've performed today?
I doubt it. I doubt it'll be encouraging. They might learn a couple of things. The table time that they're getting here in the Infinity Arena is a positive thing, but I doubt they'll be encouraged by it.
Please continue.
Yingbin recently beat Chuqin. In fact, I think Yingbin is the last player to have beaten Chuqin. He beat him in the Chinese Super League. He would have certainly been encouraged by that, but a different story in doubles.
8-7.
Different story when you're at an international event. That's just ridiculous. Where was he?
7-9.
Wow, I would love to have another look at that. And Chuqin ending up on the floor there. After a really great point from Lin Shidong, a shot rather from Lin Shidong with that big step around. We don't see too often from the world number 2, do we?
Not as frequently as Chuqin, that's for sure.
7-10.
Very different point there then to earn 3 match points for Chuqin and Lin Shidong. This to seal their place in the semi-finals.
Hallelujah, we've just witnessed a miracle. How on earth has he just done that, Lin Shidong? What a way to seal the deal there.
3 games.
That is ridiculous, seriously. How has he found the line to even go for that something to make it out of this world?
Well, what a way to wrap up the match. Wang Chuqin, Lin Shidong through in straight games and an absolute, well, you called it a miracle, Fraser. Let's go with that. Miracle point to finish things off. They are through to the semi-finals and they'll be taking on either Isaac Kwek or Kun Pang of Singapore or Huang Yuzheng and Wen Ribo of China. Here's another look then.
That's just stunning. Look at the swerve, the curve. Wow. Oh my word, that is just seriously, seriously good. Jaw dropping from Lin Shidong. Look at their ball placement there. Vast majority of the balls played there into the short area on the table. The short forehand of Yingbin, the short backhand of YUAN Licen. Not too different on the other side of the table there. 3-0 win for the second seeds, but I think, Rebecca, that they are the best pair.